watching Thrifty Kaniffy. Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, we're going to be looking at another Winterbottom bone series knife from Queen today. Got this orange and navy box. We'll take a quick look at the packaging here. It's blank on both sides. Got the magnetic style closed box with the desiccant inside. Foam cutout for the knife. On the bottom you've got the country of origin China, cancer warning, and the model number QN37WB, and the WB stands for Winterbottom bone. So what we're looking at is the Stockman, and it's a 3 7/8 inch closed pattern. So a pretty big Stockman, not 4.5 large, but I'd say it's a good size medium to smaller large size Stockman. And we've got the Winterbottom bone handles. Get a good look at that. And that's a really pretty way of making a handle, folks. Really impressed with the Winterbottom bone and all of this series so far. It looks really good. Good transition in color. The jigging is nice, and you have the little vertical lines there. And from the pictures I've seen of the older Queen knives, I think it does a pretty decent job of replicating that. Even if maybe some of those handles appeared more dark to me overall. But the pins are nice and smooth. The shield's well inlaid. You don't have any stepping along the bolsters. And you got nickel silver bolsters and pins, and that shield is also nickel silver. So nickel silver hardware all across the handle here. Other side matches pretty well to the front. No complaints there. So they did a good job matching the handles up. There's the front again, and there's the pile side. Again, nice and smooth. Finished well. Pins are well inlaid, and no stepping on the handle to bolster transition. I don't see any gaps there, so that's good. Let's take a look at the back. We've got brass liners and stainless steel springs. They look pretty clean. Maybe just a tiny little gap here along this bottom edge between the bottom liner and spring. But I don't see anything major. Looks pretty decent otherwise. So I'll let that pass. So this knife is $12.39 on Chicago Knife Works and $17.99 on Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I really don't know why the price disparity. So if you want to save some money, I think Chicago Knife Works is probably the way to go there. But nice Stockman pattern. I like the Stockman pattern generally speaking. And this is no exception for the exterior anyway. But we're going to take a closer look at the blades. And we have a master blade that's a clip point blade, pretty standard for a Stockman. That measures to the tang 2 7/8 inches, and then you got a cutting edge of 2.5. You got a blade etch there that reads Queen Steel. They include a match strike pull. Look at your blade edge. I've seen better, but it's okay for the price we're paying. Just okay. Now you see that I don't really see any swedging there per se, but it is kind of a rolled edge on that clip blade. They've rolled it over. So it almost gives it a swedge-like appearance when you look at the profile of it. So, yeah. Shy of a swedge, I'd say, but definitely a little work done to the top of that front part of the clip. So what else we got here? We've got the Queen etch on the tang, and if we flip it over, we have the blade still recognized there at 440C, and then the country of origin below it, China. Take a closer look at this side of the blade and the edge there, and you can see they've gotten up into the choil again. A little wild. So I've seen better grinds. but it does appear to be pretty sharp. Mirror finish on it, so it's going to be a fingerprint magnet. You got some half stops here, and say the pull is about a 7 into the 90 degrees, and then into the 180 degrees, about the same. So pretty much ideal on the pull, and it snaps in there well. So let's look at your secondary blade, which is the sheep's foot blade. Got half stop on it as well. Pretty much the same as the main blade. You got the match rack pull and also the queen tang etch, mirror finish. Let's look and see the blade edge on this is any better. No, not really. Gets a little high up here and a little weird down there at the tip. Seen better. Let's take a look at this side. This side does appear to be a little better, but again they get up into that choil and just kind of makes it a little ugly. Seen better blade edges on inexpensive knives, but you got to keep in mind this is, you know, under 20 bucks. So here we go with the action on the blade. That seems to be pretty good. It does seem to rub a little bit. You can see there's some blade rub there, and it's rubbing on the awl blade just right in that area there, but it is closing all the way, which is good. So it did just hang up that one time there, but it's hanging up a little bit now. It's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes it'll go all the way down and sometimes it won't. And it's not bugging me too bad. So yeah, a little bit of blade rub there, not perfect, that's for sure. So let's look at the dimensions of it. You got a total length to the tang at 1 3/4 inches, and a cutting edge right about 1 1/2. And see there, it went all the way down. All right, so let's look at the awl blade, and this fella, it's got the queen tang stamp, match strike pull, and you can see the wedge on this side. Kind of get an idea of the shape of that. But there's really no edge there. I mean, I could rub my hand on that all day. It's not going to cut me, and the point is pretty dull. So I guess you could punch with it. Might struggle a little bit to get through some thicker leather or whatever it is you're working on. And I don't really see this blade ever being used as an awl blade unless you do something to it. So not real impressed with the awl blade. Not really sure if that's just a replication of what the queen one was like, the original. But this thing is dull as a butter knife and doesn't really have much of a tip on it either. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but again, that just might be something I'm ignorant about, and as to why they're doing it that way. But I much prefer, you know, an awl blade with an edge on the side and a sharper tip. Of course, you can modify that, obviously, but why would it not come out of the box that way? Don't really know. Maybe somebody can answer in the comments. If you happen to know why, and you're pretty confident you have that answer, then comment below. But I would just say this is sort of a meh overall knife. I think I prefer the Barlow and the Whittler better to this, or more than this knife. And it's just an okay knife. I wouldn't say it's great. I wouldn't say it's horrible. Blade edges are not as good as some of the others have been. And you do get some blade rub there, and not real thrilled with the awl blade. So just an okay knife for me. You know, if I had to choose between the other three, this would probably be third out of the 3 knives. Be my least favorite. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you next time. Take care.